Slime rant tutorial. Sorry in advance for any bad editing. I'm not used to making long-form videos. For my sprites, I search CFMOT alphabet. Click on the first one and zoom into the character. It has to be the first one so it's not pixelated. Screenshot and crop. Make sure the canvas is a square. What happened? Import the cropped screenshot into Ibis Paint X or whatever version of Ibis Paint you use. Scale it to the corner. It should be covering 1/4 of the canvas. Click Cancel for this background removal thing. It doesn't work well at all. Go to the selection layer and use the bucket tool to make all the background blue. You might need to double-click it to make it full opacity. Now go back to the layer that your sprite is on and erase the background. You can either go back to the selection layer and erase the blue, or go to the lasso tool and remove selection. Make the canvas this dark checkered pattern. It makes decorations easier to see. Now you can get started on the rest of the layout. Do keep in mind that this is my tutorial, how I make my layouts. Most other people use Pinterest for this, which I don't, but if you want to use Pinterest, then go for it. Anyways, your sprite might be different from mine, so search for and use colors that match your sprite. I'd like to point out that I used color balance instead of hue saturation lightness like I usually would. Color balance only lets you edit the color. However, hue saturation lightness lets you edit all three of those things. If you only need a different color, use color balance. If you need a lighter or more saturated version of that color, use hue saturation lightness. They're right next to each other in filters, adjust colors, so finding them shouldn't be too hard. Sorry to pause again, but here you can see the categories that I use the most for decorating the layout, those being plants, items and furniture, foods and drink. So if you're struggling to get a result with the search, you can use these instead. Now is where I add the credits. Make sure to pick out a video for the background so that these can be added properly, or just skip the credits. And just like that, the layout is done. Now, for the rest of this, I use CapCut Desktop. Therefore, I have to get the layouts from my phone to my computer. If you don't use CapCut Desktop, then the rest of this tutorial probably won't be helpful to you. I recommend finding another. Now you'll need to click on the 3 connected dots. Click Image, PNG, add JPEG, but make sure it's PNG because the JPEG won't be transparent in the middle. Click Photos. Upload. Now that the upload is complete, the phone is done, and we'll be using the computer. Open a new tab, go to the 9 dots and scroll to Photos. Sorry about all the sensors, I'm not comfortable with showing all my photos, plus the censored stuff has no use in the tutorial. Click the layout. Click the 3 dots next to the trash can, then click Download. Now the layout is ready to take into CapCut. Click Create Project. Hurry up, we don't got all day. Finally, go back to the layout download and drag it over Import, or click on Import and find the layout through that. Next, grab the layout from Import and put it above the cover layer. The background video will be on the cover layer. Sorry about the bad camera quality. I needed to record this way to show the screen recording since I don't have YouTube Premium to download the videos. To do the screen recording, on Windows use Shift, Windows R. On a Chromebook, use Control, Shift, key above 5. Make sure that the size of the recording space is a square, otherwise the layout won't fit on top of it. This is very important. Remember to mute yourself, so there isn't background noise in the recording. Press play when the countdown is at 1 second. Now you can let the video play. I usually let it go for about a minute. To end the recording when you think it's done, go to click on the red square, but make sure your cursor doesn't go in the recording space. If an ad pops up, stop the recording and try again. To download the screen recording, click on the button next to the purple one. Name it whatever you want and save. Go to the File Explorer and find it in Screen Recordings. Drag it to Media Import the same way you did with the layout, then put it as the cover layer. Stretch the layout to be the same length as the background. Now you can add the text. By the way, for the voice you might want to use 11 Labs instead of CapCut. So if you want that, then find a separate tutorial for it. For the voice I use Joanne, but if you want an alternative that doesn't use Pro, use Jane. Make sure the voice is the same length as the text. Jane is easier to find than Joanne anyway. Make sure to set the aspect ratio to 9:16 so the sides of your video aren't cut off. Now let's check out the video. I know I'm used to girl, I want you want girl.
I know I'm used to girl, I want you want girl.
I know I'm used to girl. I want you want girl.
To export, go up to the blue export button. I know I'm used to. You can pick between YouTube or TikTok and do all the name and login stuff. Then click share when you are done.